Not sure who I'm waving to. No idea what I'm waving to. Laker fans, thank you for being a part of the show. Had to get a W. You know what I mean, Laker fans? We kind of needed a W. What's going on with the lighting here? Very bright lights here. What the hell's going on here? Appreciate you guys being a part of the show, Laker fans. Post-game show after the post-game show. We are back, and the Lakers finally get a W that they desperately needed. I'm here, Laker fans. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, just kind of lightening the mood here. 128 to 109, the final score. Lakers over the Portland Trailblazers. So I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. A couple fist pumps from my people here. Let's get a little W. Throw a couple of those in there real quick. You want some jabs? We could jab a little bit too. Just got to get them with an uppercut. You know what I mean? You got to set them up with a couple jabs, and that's when you come in for the uppercut. Haven't got a fight in my life, by the way. Okay, so Laker fans. Got a few things I got to get into. A, just the W. B, Bron shutting people like me up in a game like this. And then C, this upcoming road trip for the Lakers. So Lakers obviously got a lot to figure out. We'll find out a lot more about the Lakers in the next couple of weeks. But something to keep in mind, we are at the quarter mark of the season after tonight. So after tonight's game, which the Lakers already played, so it's over, they are sitting at 8-12, 25% done with the season. They're sitting at 8-12. Hell, I'll tell you this: when they started 2-10, I don't think anybody thought they'd be 8-12. So they've won 6 of their last 8 games. Still, I will say this: that game against the Pacers still hurts. Is it just me, or does that game still hurt? I really actually do think it does hurt. Even Anthony Davis, you heard him talking a little bit about it in his post-game show. He kind of kept referring back to it. So obviously it still bothers a lot of Laker fans, or it bothers the team a lot. So something to keep in mind. Okay, so let's start off with this. Just a good win. Go get the W. No Damian Lillard. No screwing around today. They had to go get the win, and they did against the Blazers. You know, some moments of it you can say, oh, it's closer than I like. But really, for the most part, the second half, Lakers had control of the game. There was no part of that second half. There was no part of that second half that you felt like the Lakers didn't have control. They didn't feel like they had control. Somebody's saying in here, Al, good win, but I want to see them beat some good teams. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You know, if I tell you right now, I'm going to go through just a couple things here. The good teams in the NBA, or teams that you think are pretty good, Lakers haven't really beat many of them. So remember, they played the Golden State Warriors, lost. They played the Clippers twice. That's 2 losses. They played Denver. That was a loss. They played the Timberwolves. That was a loss. They beat They beat the Nuggets one time, so that was a W there. Lost a couple already to the Utah Jazz. Lost to the Cavs. Lost to Sacramento. Lost to Phoenix. Indiana was another team over 500. So they've lost against a lot of teams that were actually pretty decent, right? Either over 500, hovering around 500, or a team that you think's got a chance to go win it all. You're not wrong. They have lost a lot of those games. Somebody's saying here, no statement wins for the Lakers. They'll have some opportunities. I'll get into that road schedule in just a little bit. They'll have some of those opportunities, but they needed to walk away with a W tonight. They did do it. So just, you know, kind of one of those games on the schedule. You take it and you move on. So 8-12 is where they are, and that's probably fair, right? That's as much as we wish they were 9-11 or 10-10. Let's just call it what it is. They're an 8-12 team at this point, and if they're going to make up some ground, they got some tough games coming up. A lot of people, it sounds like, you guys want me to talk about Reaves or Braun? Reaves or Braun? Pick one of them, and I'll get into it right away. Okay? So first 1 to 5, I will start talking about one of those players. Austin Reaves got 1. Reaves got 2. Braun's got 1. Reaves got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to 1, 9 to 1, 10 to 1. I got the point, guys. 11-1, 12-1. Guys, I got it. Okay. We'll go Austin Reaves. Let's go Austin Reaves. It's a blowout here. A lot of Austin Reaves responses here. The people have spoken. Yeah, what the hell do you want me to tell you about this guy? A year ago, I knew nothing about Austin Reaves, and now every game I sit here on a night-in, night-out basis. We'll talk about Matt Ryan in a little bit. Don't worry. Now I sit here on a night-in, night-out basis, and Reaves is not just a role player. He's a contributor. I mean, he's a role player, but he actually contributes. They need him. They need his productivity. They need him on a night-in, night-out basis, especially because you got obviously guys like Lonnie Walker didn't play tonight. Troy Brown Jr. wasn't available tonight. So Austin Reaves getting another 22 points. Plays big minutes too. Plays 35 minutes. Give the man his credit. I don't know what you guys were expecting this year, but a lot of times when you show up out of nowhere and there's a whole offseason for teams to kind of prepare for you and say, okay, hey, these are the things that he does well. We'll take that away. You don't always have success the following season. He's still having success. He's playing good basketball, and he's a feisty player, and he takes charges, and he sacrifices his body, does whatever the team needs him to do. And he's not a bad offensive player either. He could get to the basket. He could hit some buckets. So I like when people want me to talk about Austin Reaves because it's not every day you're going to see, a player like Reaves have the type of success he's having in the NBA. And even though teams are starting to prepare for him and they kind of have a good idea of what he brings to the table, he's still having success. So hats off to Austin Reaves. I appreciate what he's doing. I'm sure a lot of Laker fans out there appreciate what he's doing. Okay. Hopefully that was good enough. Now, if you guys got comments on Reaves, you can let me know. He's like Alex Caruso, but an offensive version. I love how Westbrook has adapted to his new role. Let's see what else we got here. AR-15 goes to the free throw line. I say golfer and go grab a drink. 2 points, baby. Okay? All right, so I think we could all agree that he has done a good job so far for the Lakers. Okay, if you guys remember, Monday night after the Lakers loss, last night I did Lakers Talk. I threw this up here. If you listen to Travis and Sliwa, I have not been shutting up about how LeBron James needs to adjust his game to accommodate to Anthony Davis. That this is AD's team now, that AD should be the focal point. Pre-game show with Michael today. I continue to not shut up about it. And then LeBron James went out there and dropped 31 points, 12 of 18 from the field, 8 assists and 7 rebounds. Basically, he told someone like me, shut the hell up, you don't know what you're talking about. That's what Bron told me by playing tonight and having those kind of numbers. I still firmly believe this, and I'll continue to say it, okay? I think if the Lakers are going to have any success this year, I really, really believe it starts with AD, period. I really, really believe that Anthony Davis has to be the focal point of the Lakers if they're going to have consistency, if they're going to have success on a night-in, night-out basis. I know not every single night, but I think it gives them their best chance to be successful. And I just take into consideration that Bron has put in a ton of minutes, that he's been in the league for a long time, that he's in his 20th year in the NBA. Like, what do you want me to tell you? There's only so much that you can do on a year in and year out basis. It's not that the man is not going to be considered one of the greatest to ever do it, but there has to come a time, and maybe I'm delusional in this, there has to come a time where you look on the floor, and I asked actually Michael Thompson this. I said, Michael, who's the better player right now, Anthony Davis or LeBron James? He said AD. And I think it's AD as well. And I put up a poll yesterday on Twitter, and 80% of those people thought it was AD as well. That doesn't mean that LeBron's not important and is critical and is one of the greatest to ever do it. I just think that it's more important to have AD going on a night-in, night-out basis because Bron is that player that can dish out 12 dimes or 10 dimes or whatever the case is. And he's still going to give you 25 points a game or whatever the case is. So Bron was great tonight. You know, something that I've noticed with Bron a little bit, bad game, good game. Bad game, good game. That it's not as consistent. And, you know, like I said, tonight he was great. He was 12 of 18 from the field. What do you want me to tell you? 31 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. What do you want me to tell you? He was great. So I am not going to be overly critical on a night like tonight because there's nothing to be critical about. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe that AD is still the most important piece on this team. So that's my thoughts there. Alan, where's your tie? Yeah, we have not been doing that lately, buddy. I just, you know, gotta put a nice shirt on, throw a jacket over it. I mean, what do you guys want me to do? I'm on radio, okay? I'm on radio. I know I do post-game. I know sometimes we stream it here. That's awesome. Shout out to Alan. Inspired me to start my own channel. Badass. Go do your thing. It's nothing special either. You're just a fan of the game and you love basketball. Just do it consistently. Talk Lakers basketball. People will come take a listen. Okay. We haven't done this in a couple days here. Let's do some roll call. Tell me where you guys are listening. Tell me what part of LA you're in. Tell me what part of the state you're in. Tell me what part of the country you're in. Tell me what part of the world you're in. And I will give you a shout out. By the way, for those who are all putting on there, I'm still going to get into the Lakers schedule. I'll get into the Matt Ryan stuff as well. So we'll get into all that. Don't worry. University of Newcastle, Australia. Thank you for being a part of the show. Abu Dhabi in the house. Awesome. Guam, Honolulu, San Marcos in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. San Pedro, Osaka, Japan. Badass. Been to Japan before. Didn't go to Osaka. Went to Hiroshima instead, but I had people telling me I should go to Osaka, so thank you for tuning in. Santa Monica in the house. SD, San Diego. Yeah, that's my hometown. That's my home there. Somebody's in Yorba Linda, Little Italy, South Texas. You can't say Texas without saying Little Italy. Come on, we all know that. When I think Texas, I think, can I get some ravioli, right? Let me get a cannoli. It's South Texas. I like how you did that, South Texas. All right, Spain in the house. Appreciate you tuning in. Auburn, New York in the house. Highland Park, Glendale, Anaheim. Someone's in the Lakers locker room. Okay, go do your thing. Someone's at the World Cup. Had the doing the show with Travis this morning. We had Argentina on versus Poland. We had Mexico versus Saudi Arabia. Both games are going right in the middle of our show. Both games, you know, what was it, 2-0 at one point. I think it was 2-1 and 2-0 was how it ended up. I couldn't keep track. I got Travis trying to talk to me. I'm like, I got 2 TVs on. I'm trying to watch the World Cup, okay? You talk. Arkansas in the house. Little Italy, Las Vegas. Highland Park in the house. It's so much better talk Lakers basketball when you're coming off a W. Holland in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. New Hampshire in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. Canada. Appreciate you guys all being a part of the show. If Norwalk, thank you for being a part of the show. Rochester, New York. If I miss you, then Philippines, Ontario. If I miss you, then Fullerton in the house. Then just keep putting it on there, and I'll eventually make sure that I give you a shout out. So thank you all for being a part of the show. Okay, Matt Ryan. So I'm going to read off a tweet here. Everybody read it probably already from Shams Charania. That dude is the man, by the way. Does a fantastic job. Every time I see him every time he's here at a Lakers game, our interaction is 1.4 seconds. Hey, Shams. Hey, how you doing? We both say hello, and then we continue our walk. That's, I think, every time we cross paths, it's 1.4 seconds. It's a hello, and then it's over. But the dude obviously is killing it. So Shams put out this tweet. Lakers waiving wing shooter Matt Ryan, sources tell The Athletic and the Stadium. The move opens up a roster spot for the Lakers ahead of the December 15th trade date. Cal State Fulton in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. King Taco. Now people are just Belvedere Garden. Is that Gardens? I think Gardens. In and out. Thank you for being a part of the show. Okay, so here's the thing. England, UK, thank you for being a part of the show. Matt Ryan gets waived. Okay, just quick initial reaction. That dude was actually a, kind of a solid player in the short time that he was with the Lakers, but obviously he wasn't getting much time, much PT. He's a sharpshooter. That's what this guy does. He's a sniper from the outside. I think shot around 38% from the field. Riverside, thank you for tuning in. However, I don't know what this means. I don't know if the Lakers are freeing up a roster spot because they're working on something right now as we speak, or I don't know if the Lakers are just opening up that roster spot to give them some flexibility for the time that December 15th does roll around, and the Lakers could have some options that they'll obviously put in play there once they get to that moment. I don't think the world's going to end. Again, I don't think the Lakers were really using him. They have enough depth. They have enough guards. That doesn't mean they have enough shooters, but they got some players, so the world's not going to end that he's not there. I'm more interested in what do you need that extra roster spot for? Well, what are you thinking for December 15th? Or what are you thinking over the next couple of weeks? That, to me, is what's more interesting because, obviously the Lakers have been rumored for trades since last trade deadline back in February. So that does make it, a little bit interesting here. You are kind of trying to figure out if, you should read between the lines. And I'll probably read between the lines and be wrong, but I'm going to do it anyways because, you wonder if the Lakers are going to make some kind of move or if they're not. Simi Valley, thank you for being a part of the show, Jay. Okay, so let's see what here. That's dumb that they waived him, could have traded him or used him more. If they thought, if there was real value that was trade value for him, then they would have held on to him. So obviously I don't think that there was, there was something there that you lost something by waiving him. If there was value, I think he would have stayed. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Do we really want to trade Westbrook? Irvine, thank you for being a part of the show. Do we really want to trade Westbrook? Somebody's bringing that up as a question. To be honest with you, I'd just be completely straightforward. Yeah, I don't mind trading him. Like I have no affinity towards Russ. Even him coming off the bench and having a little bit more success over these last since he started coming off the bench, having more success. For me, here's what it comes down to: what's the cost of trading him? If you got to go out and give up those 2 first-rounders, and let's be honest here. We don't even really know what this Lakers team is, Laker fans. We don't. Let me give you an example, okay? I'm going to ask Laker fans out there. Somebody was actually asking the next 10 games for the Lakers. How about this? The next 16 games for the Lakers, 12 of them are on the road. And I actually want to count this because I think this is important. How many of those 16 games that the Lakers got coming up, how many are against teams that are over 500 right now today? Okay? Well, let's walk through that real quick. They got the Bucks coming up. They're over 500, obviously. They're second best record, I think, in the entire NBA. They got the Washington Wizards. Wizards are 500. I'm going to say teams that are 500 or better, and let's just count them. Washington's 500, so there's 2. Cleveland is well over 500. That's 3. Toronto is over 500. That's 4. Philly is over 500. That's 5. The Pistons are not. You got Boston coming up. That's 6 games over. That's 6 teams over 500. Denver, 7 teams over 500. Washington, 8 teams at 500 or better. Phoenix, Sacramento, that's 10 teams over 500. Dallas is over 500. That's, put it this way, 11, 12, let me just do the math here. 12 of the next 15 games for the Lakers, all those teams are at 500 or better. So when people ask me, hey, Al, would you trade Russell Westbrook for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield as an example? It's enticing to do it. It's you know what? I think the team would definitely improve. But is that team all of a sudden going to become a team that you think is competing for a chip? And we're going to find out here in December just how competitive this team is. Because if you're walking out of December and now you're 10 games below, remember they're 4 games below 500 right now, but if you're 10 games below 500, you know, by the time the dust settles out of December, then what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is the thought process there about, you know, where the Lakers' future is? So this is going to be a tough road trip. That's all I can tell you. I heard Anthony Davis saying in these next 6 games, if we're above 500, then it's a good road trip. I say if you're 500, it's a good road trip. I say if they go 3-3, it's a good road trip. So we'll see how the Lakers obviously react. We'll see how AD reacts. We'll see how Bron reacts. We'll see how the team reacts. But no more messing around. They had their little stretch of easy games, whether that was the Pistons or the Spurs 3 times in a week. Those days are over. You got real deal matchups coming up. And you got teams that only get to see you one time. So the Milwaukee Bucks crowd, they only get to see the Lakers once in Milwaukee. Same thing with the Wizards and the Cavs and the Raptors and the Sixers and the Pistons. So all these teams are going to be incredibly excited to see the Lakers, and they're going to try and take advantage of the Lake Show when they can. So let's see what the Lakers do on this road trip. It starts on Friday. I'm going to do my regular show tomorrow. I'll do my regular show tomorrow with Travis, and then tomorrow night, if you guys want to watch, I'll be on Spectrum Sportsnet, so I'll do a little bit of action on Spectrum Sportsnet, so you guys can watch that as well. Other than that, I'll get back with you guys on Friday after the Lakers and the Bucks. After Giannis Antetokounmpo and Anthony Davis battle it out. John Allen was talking on the broadcast. I forgot about this. Giannis' stat line in the 2 games that the Lakers played, oh my gosh. I mean, talk about just unreal how, let me just do this real quick. So there, I mean, literally when I tell you this, his stats last year against the Lakers, the guy was like 17 of 20 in one game. He was 18 of 23 in another. Giannis was just ridiculous. So that's what we get to see coming up on Friday. We only get to see Giannis against the Lakers twice a year, so I'm excited to watch him. But I'm more excited to see how AD and the Lakers respond to him. So, Lake fans, appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Thank you for being a part of the show. Always appreciate you guys doing that. And I'll get back with you guys on Friday. If I got anything good for tomorrow, I'll try to put it up as well. But always appreciate you guys being a part of the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Somebody's asking what's for dinner. Technically, I already had dinner. But you know I'm going to go home and have some cereal. Come on now, guys. I got to sit back, watch my... Can I have a second to myself as well? All right, friends. I appreciate it, okay? Have a good rest of your night. We'll get with you guys soon. And thank you again for being a part of the show. Have a good night.